now, John.
Good evening. It's August 8th, 2025, and we're in Studio 6D today, Friday. It's my pleasure and my distinct honor to be speaking with Mr. John J. Jeckovich. How are you doing?
Good, very good, thank you.
You're looking very nice in your blue outfit.
Yeah.
The only man I know that has a closet the size of a bedroom. You got a lot of clothes, but you look good in them.
I got a lot of clothes.
That one there makes you look 15 years younger. So you're doing well.
Yeah.
Mr. Jeckovich was from Company H, the 2nd Battalion of the 291st Regiment of the 75th Infantry Division of the U.S. Army during World War II. Mr. Jeckovich lives by the motto, yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, and today is a gift. You spent many years frontline infantry fighting in Germany, Battle of Bulge, and unfortunately in Bastogne, where 97% of the guys you're with were slaughtered. Besides that, was there a lot of looting during World War II?
Lot of what?
Looting.
Looting.
Looting. Stealing.
Soldiers looting?
No. Like say the Nazis, were they robbing everything in sight? Like they went to France and they stole everything when they occupied France.
Well, there's a lot of looting, yeah.
Was there a big black market?
Oh, it's a big black market, sure.
Now, when you said that you were trying to find stuff too, were you tasked, after the war, were you tasked to try to find some of this stuff?
Whose stuff?
Like anything that was stolen?
No, he couldn't find them, no.
Do you think many of the stuff on the black market ended up in Switzerland?
Probably in the U.S.
In the U.S.?
Yeah, probably.
Tell us about the time. This is a very interesting story. It shows you there's no limits what someone with the right connection and the right rank in the Army could do. Tell us about this yacht. Tell us about this story. This big yacht, this big boat.
Oh, that Major General took that boat home to Michigan.
Yeah, how'd he do it? Tell us.
He got all the right people to talk to, and he got the boat over there.
Yeah.
Free. It was free shipping.
Did you see the boat?
Huh?
Did you see the boat?
No, I didn't see the boat, no.
But it was a big boat.
Yeah.
Do you think today there's a lot of millionaires they're millionaires because of the stuff they looted, all the gold and all the metals and all the artifacts, somewhere's in Switzerland or United States, they can't pull it out and sell it, but they have at least millions of dollars worth of unique items because the Nazis had everything very expensive for the top-ranking officers.
Yeah.
You think there's many people that still have it locked in closets?
I don't think so.
No?
That's all wrong. They sold it or what? Or somebody stole it or whatever they did.
Yeah. But there were so many high-ranking officers in the Nazi regime, they even had custom, one-of-a-kind, one-off Mercedes cars made for them. Some of those made it back to the United States. Some of those were, in custody of the United States Army too. But the Nazis' expenses before the war hit was very elaborate.
Yeah.
They had many of them had mansions, each, and they're high-ranking, and they had like the best of the best.
Oh, yeah.
They were living something like kings.
Well, they were top generals.
Yeah. And then the foot soldiers for the Nazis were living like pigs.
Yeah.
And being killed by 1,000 an hour in some cases.
Yeah. Froze to death.
Yeah. And the rest are living in the lap of luxury. Well, here we go. I'm going to put a few pages under our belt.
Okay.
But before I open up the book, Mr. Jeckovich, I'll need your dog tag number.
420965.
That's the code that opens up the laptop. Here we go. We're on second time around. How many pages?
849.
Second time around. We already read the 849. And now we're on chapter 8, page 224, second time, crossing the channel. This is when Mr. Jeckovich is in Haverfordwest with his third girlfriend, Roland Young, and they're saying their final goodbyes. They're saying their final goodbyes. This feeling of upcoming events combat was much the same, with one glaring exception. This was a life or death proposition with no reprieve or canceling out. It would not be over within the next day or even the next year. It was a long time, yeah.
Yeah,
You were just hoping that you came back alive and you came back whole, right?
yeah.
Jean stopped, turned to me, reached up, quietly kissed me gently on the cheek, and asked almost in a whisper what I was thinking about so deeply. This brought me to reality, and I quickly exclaimed, without hesitating, that I'd miss all of this, her family, this town, but especially I'd miss her most of all. So Jean had a beautiful family.
Yeah,
Beautiful family. I did not want to leave, but would be content, and I would be content to spend the rest of my life here with her family. So they're good people,
yeah,
hard-working people.
yeah. Well, he was the mayor.
Yeah, and they were really restricted. They didn't have much. When you brought the big trucks over, gave them a gift from Uncle Sam of all the produce and
Yeah.
number 10 cans, they really enjoyed it, right?
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Well, they were rationed there. They didn't have that since through the war.
Yeah. I felt that she wanted to say more, but settled for saying what she did. We should all miss you terribly, and we have gotten quite attached to you. She then put her arm around me and ended by saying, I don't know if I ever talk so much about myself or to anyone, or giving my innermost thoughts and desires. So she felt very comfortable with you,
Yeah.
we're saying. I drew her closer to me as if to acknowledge her sentiments and perception. For I was in complete agreement with her own thoughts. Not wishing to pursue it any further, I talked about our plans tomorrow, Saturday, and a little bit about Sunday. Now the end is coming.
Yeah.
This is it. You're gonna cross the channel, the party's over, no more. She said that she would bicycle out a little way, but not to stop for a picnic because it's too cold. Instead, we would ride to a little inn for a snack and rest up, and then bicycle more until we got tired. I jokingly related that she could ride half the night before she got the slightest bit tired. So she was in good shape.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Tell us why.
Well, it's rode the bike all the time.
All of her life.
Yeah.
You did
No cars, no cars.
No cars. And no one was fat in Haverfordwest.
No.
No one was fat in Haverfordwest. You were just doing 25-mile hikes, and she was in pretty damn good shape.
Yeah.
Yeah. She laughed at that and then blurted out, I'm going to miss you terribly. I gotten used to you. I took her in her arms and kissed her as we stood in the clear moonlight night. I told her I would write and give her my address as soon as I could. We held one another, trying vainly to hold back the ticking time clock. Yeah, that clock is ticking, man. To prevent it from bringing us closer to our destiny. The next morning, Saturday, we marched by platoon to a makeshift dispensary for a series of shots. So before you went to your final front line, you had to get more shots?
Yeah.
I'll be damned. One in each arm and one in the fatty tissue of your right buttocks. I always hated getting shots, especially in the rear, but this morning was even more repugnant, as we're also giving a short arm inspection for venereal disease. Oh boy. After chow, I could still feel the shot in my butt, and several of men, along with Lape, were sick of the shot results. I could imagine. I had no ill effects outside the soreness and was looking forward to leaving shortly to see Gene. Were you in a position that you could have refused the shot?
No,
No.
no.
Do you think the military can today?
Yeah, they tell you to do it, you do it.
Okay, okay, I understand. I was called to the orderly room, which was always ominous and menacing. It seemed like Sergeant Whalen, was Whalen a good guy?
Yeah.
I seemed like Sergeant Whalen wanted my thoughts on accepting more responsibilities, such as a squad leader event I was called upon to do. He explained to me that he was compiling a list of potential squad leaders. Eventually, he became a squad leader of the heavy-duty machine guns.
Yeah, a couple of days, yeah.
Yeah, and you had one soldier carrying the tripod. How much did that weigh?
135 pounds.
And then one soldier carrying the heavy-duty machine gun.
No,
How much was that?
The muzzle, that was 135 pounds.
And then you had 2 or 3 ammo barrels, because you went through a lot of
Carrying
ammo.
a box of
And that
ammo,
was such a, what's that?
carrying a box of ammo,
Several. And so that, and you were the trigger man, right?
yeah.
So that was a big operation. And it was such a powerful machine gun that the barrel would get red hot. How'd you cool it?
How do you cool it? Antifreeze.
So you had a water and antifreeze mixture that was constantly flowing to cool off the barrel, but it was still very hot.
Oh, yeah, you want to touch it, no.
One of your assistants grabbed the barrel. What happened to him?
He got burned right down to the bone.
And where did he end up?
I got sent home.
Sent him home. He explained to me they were compiling a list of potential squad leaders, as well as a section leader and platoon leader, and that my name was mentioned. I said I would accept the added responsibility and had no qualms about not doing a good job. Well, you did a good job.
Yeah.
And you did such a damn good job as a teenage boy. I'm going to pull this out right now. You did such a damn good job that as a teenage boy, you were awarded the Bronze Star Medal. You were awarded the Purple Heart. You were awarded the Army Good Conduct Medal. You were awarded the Army Campaign Medal. You were awarded the European, African, Middle Eastern Campaign Medal with 3 Bronze Service Stars. You were awarded the World War II Victory Medal, an Army of Occupation Medal with Germany clasp, Combat Infantry Badge, Sharpshooter Badge with carbine, pistol, and machine gun bars. That's a big deal. Marksman Badge with rifle bar, and Honorable Service Lapel Button, World War II. So you did do a good job.
Yeah.
But you paid the price. You were shot in the shoulder by a sniper,
Lost a hip,
lost a hip, beat up, stabbed,
frostbite.
and you're still suffering from that frostbite.
Frostbite right now.
What's the pain level?
Several.
80 long years still suffering from this frostbite. Trench foot,
Yeah.
and you got so much shrapnel in your body that if you went to a damn airport to try to get on a plane, you have to bring some paperwork.
I showed him a piece of paper.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So you did do a good job. Let me clear that up. He said that was fine and thanked me for my cooperation and then dismissed me. Here we go. That afternoon I met with Gene, the only guy in the world I know in World War II, frontline infantry, and during his breaks he got 4 wonderful girlfriends.
Oh.
We don't know how you did it.
Why?
How'd you have all these girlfriends during the war? How the hell did you have all these girlfriends during the
To
war?
break up the monotony.
You sure did. You sure did. Here we go again. That afternoon when I met Gene, I was still mulling over my meeting with Sergeant Whalen. The conclusion I came away with meant one thing: casualties. Casualties and more casualties. Yeah, Mr. Jeckovich was at the wrong place at the wrong time. He was in Bastogne, and no one in the world ever thought the Nazis would come through the Ardennes Forest. The Ardennes Forest is a very populated forest. The trees are close, and it was also the coldest winter of record. Snow waist deep. But psychopath Hitler sent all these young boys, all these Nazi soldiers, to do the last bit of damage to the American soldier. So he sent 6,000 tanks, and Mr. Jeckovich was at the wrong place at the wrong time. And what did your superiors tell you to do with Bastogne?
Hold.
Hold it. They told him,
Hold.
do not give that place up under any expense. Well, it was a lot of expense.
Yeah.
97% casualties. Mr. Jeckovich survived wholly. Lots of injuries though. Body parts all over, bodies all over. And all that beautiful white snow was in red. The reason why it was such a massacre, because these guys in Bastogne could not get air support. It was 4 long, miserable days of cloudy skies.
14 minutes.
They couldn't get air support. They needed to have at least 20 or 30,000 paratroopers drop in. They needed weapons. They needed more ammunition. They needed food, and then also they needed the fighters in the planes to shoot down some of these Nazis. They had nothing. But on the 4th day, the skies opened up. And when the skies opened up, they got help came. And then they pushed the Nazis back all the way to Berlin. And that was pretty much the end of the war in the European theater in the Battle of Bulge. And that was pretty much the end of it. But here he is, before he goes there. He met with Gene, and let's see what happened. I did not particularly cause me much concern the fact of casualties, personal or otherwise, but it did enter my conscious state. I did not think anything would happen to me or those near me. Well, something did happen to something near you. His best buddy in a foxhole, Donald Lape, another teenage boy, what'd you tell him to stop doing? What'd you tell Donald Lape to do?
I said, keep your head down.
And what would he do?
He keep popping his head up.
Give us an example.
How
would he do it?
I said, what are you looking up for? You know what's over there. Keep your head down.
Like, how would he do it?
And they got him zeroed in, and when he popped his head up, they shot him.
Blew his head off with a dirty bomb. A dirty bomb. Tell us what a dirty bomb is.
Full of nails, screwdrivers, and everything else.
So the Nazis are packing up for the most damage to these young boys. They put old razor blades, old tools, screwdrivers, any piece of metal you could find, and it blew up right directly on Donald Lape. Instant death, head off. Only thing hanging from his ears was his glasses, and Mr. Jeckovich still has the shrapnel wounds in his body from that bomb. War brings such pain and misery. But let's get back to when you met Gene before you went over. I did not want to be the one botching things up for the rest of the company through my inept or awkward handling of any situation that would arise. The sight of Gene diverted me away from my thoughts, and I focused, I'm sure it did. Instead of how attractive she looked, she appeared stunning and captivating, and I merely relayed those observations to her. She was pleased and thanked me, and I could see that she was delighted that she made such an impression on me. As she mounted the bicycle, I was afforded the luxury of the sight of a pair of beautiful legs. Wow, do you remember that?
Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful.
She ain't old, young.
Yeah.
Never found her.
Well, let me comment on this. All Mr. Jeckovich's girlfriends we found, every single one of them. Jean Roland Young, we spent a lot of time, we spent a lot of resources trying to find her, and we came up dry holes. We sent private investigators down to her cottage in Haverfordwest, talked to the neighbors on the left and the right, no one knows them. Sent someone to the city hall of types and investigated the mayor, Mr. Young, back in the 40s, and there's no trail after that. In fact, we went as far as having our buddies that are reporters at the Daily Mail. You could Google Mr. Jeckovich in the Daily Mail, and you could see the beautiful story They wrote a full-page story about Mr. Jeckovich, full page, and at times the Daily Mail has a circulation of 1 million at times, not all the time. And they wrote a beautiful full-page story about him and his girlfriend Jean Roland Young, and it also turned up absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. So if anyone listening knows anything about Haverfordwest or the Jean Roland Young family, text us. Or if you have a question about anything, here he is, the last of the World War II fighters. Text him at 407-366-0000.
9 minutes.
Text Mr. Jeckovich at 407-366-0000. I know we found all your other girlfriends.
Yeah.
We're going to find this one, I assure you. I don't know what more we could do, but we're going to do it. We're going to do it. We're going to find out what happened. What happened to your girlfriend in Paris, Renee?
Well, she's a good facial artist. And the German higher ups come to her to get her picture, portrait her picture of her, the big high-ranking German officers. And as they're talking, they're giving away good information, and she relates to the Allies.
And what finally happened?
Well, they probably caught up with her. They took her out of the field, shot her.
Yeah. A little bit of background in this story. She was a beautiful lady, Renee. She was a Roman Catholic nun in a convent. At this time, the damn Nazis were occupying Paris. And she got word that her parents, who were probably in their early 40s at the time, were brutally murdered and tortured by the Nazis while she's in the convent, praying for the souls of mankind, just praying and praying and praying. And then a few months later, she got another notice that the Nazis brutally killed and tortured her 2 teenage brothers. So she questioned her faith, which even the Pope questions his faith. She left the convent, and she was a beautiful artist. She specialized in portraits, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And she had a beautiful studio and apartment in Paris, a combination of both, right?
Yeah, yeah.
She lived downstairs, and at the time when the Nazis were occupying Paris, she joined the French Resistance,
Yeah.
right? And she was painting all these beautiful portraits of these high-ranking SS and Nazi officers. And you must understand, these guys have a great big ego. They think the world revolves around these pricks. They have a great big ego, so they're always trying to get their picture taking, right?
Yeah.
Excuse me,
A
picture
portrait.
drawn.
Drawn, yeah.
And she was like the fly on the wall. She was gathering information of these guys boasting to each other and possibly giving out some information that would be helpful to the French Resistance. And then Renee would go after they left, and where was their headquarters at?
Down in the cellar.
Cellar?
Yeah.
Was it like a sewer?
Yeah.
And she would relate this information. Well, finally, the Nazis got wise to it, and they took her out back and blew her brains out. What a way to go. So, I'll continue reading on a happier thought. That's Jean Roland Young. We headed south from Haverfordwest on Highway A4076. How the hell do you remember A4076?
On the highway?
Yeah, you said Highway A476.
Well,
How would you remember that? I don't remember my directions from yesterday. And I know you don't use Google, and I know you never used a laptop. And how would you do this big, beautiful book? How'd you write it?
What?
What'd you write it on?
Yellow pages.
Yellow legal pads.
Yeah.
And all that stuck in your head today still?
Yeah.
You still remember things of such minute detail as Highway A8-4076?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I can see the sign.
You can see the sign. That's a fucking amazing. That's just amazing. Wow. Well, consider this guy reads 3 newspapers every morning with no glasses. He's been reading books and books every week for the last 90-some years. I guess he's got a good memory and absorbs a lot that I certainly don't. The term highway was misleading since it was, so they called it a highway, but that term was misleading since it was really consisted of a 2-lane buggy trail, barely wide enough for the Army 2.5 tons trucks. The ride was very dangerous. As we rode, Gene informed me we're going to Milford Haven, and this is how I could get there. Milford Haven was a port where we arrived in Wales. So you got off that big troop ship in Milford Haven.
Yeah.
Minutes, please. Mr. Jeckovich, do you want a coffee?
No, thank you.
Minutes, please.
4.5.
So Milford Haven, where you came off the troop ship with tens of thousands of other Army infantry guys, what was that troop ship like? I'm curious.
It was a British luxury liner turned into a troop ship.
And what was the sleeping arrangements like?
5 high.
And how close was your nose to the ceiling?
Well, pretty close.
3 inches?
Huh?
3 inches?
Was what?
3 inches?
Oh, yeah.
Were you below the waterline?
Oh, yeah.
How was the food on a troop ship?
A lot of it was limey food.
Limey food, you mean it's made by chefs from England?
Yeah.
And was it primarily greasy?
Yeah.
So you're pretty happy when you landed at Milford Haven port. Now the Army would start taking care of you.
That was that we got to go to food then.
Yeah. Milford Haven was the port where we arrived in Wales. And it was dark when we disembarked, and we did not see much of the city. It was considerably smaller than Haverfordwest, and it was chiefly noted for its fine natural harbors. It was founded by the Quakers. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
It was founded by which used to be their whaling port. Wow, that is interesting. And the town itself laid out in a grid fashion with the streets parallel to one another. From any vantage point in Milford Haven, you could get a marvelous and breathtaking view of the sea. Could you smell the sea?
Oh, yeah.
Could you smell the sea in Haverfordwest?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I was much surprised that Jean began to name the various birds flying in and out of the coastal area. I would ask her what particular bird was as it glided by, and she would remark, "Oh, that's a spotted red shank," or "That's a green sandpiper," or "Did you see that one? It's a spoonbill." So this girl knew all the birds.
Yeah.
I wonder why, how?
Well, she's out there all the time. I spotted her. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I had a book with her, yeah.
Okay, all right. Once she became excited and explained, "Oh, look, there's an osprey," which was very rare, and you don't see them very often. Wow.
2 minutes.
2 minutes? So explain to me in your words, I need to know more about this Haverfordwest. Explain to me what the cottages look like, what the streets look like.
It was a farm town.
Yeah?
Streets, cobblestones. It's an old town. It was an old town.
Were the streets wide?
No, they were wide for horses and buggies, that's all.
Uh-huh. When you were in Haverfordwest, did you see many cars?
No, all bicycles.
Explain to me what these cottages look like.
The what?
Where everyone lived in a cottage, explain that to me.
They were small, modest cottages.
What were they made out of?
They were made out of stone all the way up.
Did they have a kitchen?
You know, had kitchen and one room, one bedroom.
And one bedroom. Where did everyone sleep if it was only one bedroom?
Yeah, well, they didn't have big families. Oh, all the men were gone.
Yeah, all the men were dead or in war or killed. What did they have an indoor bathroom?
Huh?
Did they have an indoor bathroom?
Indoor.
Did they have an inside toilet?
Yeah,
Did they?
yeah.
And how close were they to the other cottages?
Well, they were pretty close, probably 20 feet apart.
And so when you brought down the big army truck to give them Uncle Sam's gift of supplies, did you barely make it down that road?
Yeah, they thought the tank was coming down.
Let's go down. Minutes?
Yeah, 29 seconds. How many cans did you give, John?
How many cans did you give them?
How many cans of this number
Of
size
ration.
10 did you give? How many cans did you give away?
How many times I gave that
No, how
stuff?
much produce did you get?
Twice.
But how much produce was it?
Huh?
How much produce did you give the family? What was it? What kind of produce was it?
Or what food I gave them?
Yeah.
I gave them food that they weren't getting. I gave them